Hi, I'm Renarta Clanton Moyd. I'm the Communications Specialist with the Cumberland County Schools and your host of Get Connected. Now, during this monthly show, as you know, we highlight numerous educational topics that face today's student, educator, and parent in the Cumberland County Schools. Now, earlier this school year, the district announced its Teacher of the Year and Principal of the Year winners. Both were chosen because of their knowledge, professionalism, and expertise as superb educators. And both are here to discuss with me their life's work and their quest to make a difference in the lives of children on this edition of Get Connected.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now.
No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite.
Unearth hidden passion.
Come on, we'll have a good time.
And seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic.
To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall.
And make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can read something helps to change a life.
People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a
So what you want to do is, have you already enrolled? You're doing fine.
What did that just do?
Select the drop-down menu again. To the site you're already enrolled. Example here, so don't panic. You're ready to make your payment. Submit. There it is.
Oh my God! I really can't believe it. That's awesome.
Good for you.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of Get Connected. We're talking with Cumberland County Schools 2014-2015 Teacher of the Year, Ms. Myra Dunham from John Griffin Middle School, and Cumberland County Schools 2014-2015 Principal of the Year, Ms. Kim Robertson from Elizabeth Cashwell Elementary School. Myra, Kim, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks, Renarta.
I'm so glad you guys are here with us.
Well, it's good to be here.
And I mean, you all have like become these local celebrities. I mean, it's like, wow,
know,
it's hard to get on your books in order to get interviews. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is like wow.
Now, let me ask you this. Has it sunken in yet? I mean, and I know it's been a couple of months now since you all were both announced as the winners of the, in your profession of the year, but has it sunken in at this point?
Most days it has.
Okay.
Every now and then there'll be something that I'll look at and I'll see my name and I'll see Teacher of the Year beside it and I'll still get that wow factor or that really is happening to me. So, but most of the days it has sunken in. It's just an awesome feeling.
That's good.
Yeah.
For you, Kim?
I think it has sunken in. The children are definitely back to normal now.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been really nice getting cards of congratulations and flowers and letters, and received a letter from a teacher assistant I worked with several years ago, and all of those personal thanks, they mean a lot. It's been really, really nice.
And when you were announced, the expressions on your faces, I just could have paid like $1 million for that. And see, with me, having kind of privy to the winner's name, it's just all I can do to keep my mouth shut. And when I see you out and about, and I'm thinking, oh, if they only knew, if they only knew, if they only knew. And when the announcement came, both of you were like, is it say me, huh? So that was just priceless. It was absolutely priceless.
Right, I wish I could see that moment, because I can only imagine how it was, because when I was walking up to the stage, I kept saying, yes, it's you, yes, it's you, keep moving, keep moving. So yes, I would have loved to have seen that.
That's good, that is good. Now, talk to us a little bit, and I'm just gonna start questioning not questioning your background, but just talk to us about your educational background.
Well, I graduated from E. Smith High School.
Woo, Golden Bulls.
Golden
woo, woo.
Bulls. And from there, I went on to UNC Chapel Hill.
Woo, woo,
Yeah,
Caroline
yes,
Chocolate. Okay,
yes.
we followed the same track.
We
Okay.
did. And then I majored in journalism there.
Okay.
We're still following the same track. And then after that, I worked for a couple of years, and I was not satisfied or happy in that particular profession. I wanted to do something else. I wanted to reach out. I felt like I needed to help other people. And so I said, teaching is where I need to be. I had family members who were in education, and so I was thinking that maybe I needed to do something else because I didn't want to just do education because my family members were.
Right.
But after I got out with a journalism degree and I wasn't satisfied and I wasn't content, I went back and I got my teaching certificate at UNC with the middle grades program. And I've been teaching ever since and enjoying it.
That's good. So it kind of, for you, Myra, it was something where you were that kind of said, this is just not what it is.
Right.
I need to be doing teaching.
Right. It was a restlessness, and there wasn't a peace there, and I just didn't feel like I was helping enough people. And so I said, I'm going into education.
That's good. Now, Kim, what about you? Talk to us about your background as well as when did you decide, hey, this is what I want to do?
Well, my teaching career started really, really early when I was in middle school, actually. I wanted to take dance lessons, and we couldn't afford it at the time. So I was on the drill team in middle school, and during summer camp, I met a dance teacher. And she saw what I was doing, and I explained to her that I wanted to help out. And she said, well, come and help me teach the little ones, and I'll give you your lessons for free. So been teaching for a really, really long time. I graduated from Fayetteville State, Broncos. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. I've been to some summer school classes there. Whoop, whoop. So yeah.
Yeah. And in the elementary education program there.
Okay.
And then I taught at Mary MacArthur for 7 years and went into the principal fellowship program for school administration. And again graduated from Fayetteville State University with my degree in school administration. I was an assistant principal at Van Story Elementary for 3 years, and then named principal at Howard Hall. And I worked at Howard Hall for 4 years, and then moved over to Elizabeth Cashwell, my current school. I've been there going on 5 years now.
Oh, wow, that's good. Now, you know what, the question comes to my mind. What was your first day like in the classroom as a teacher? And Kim, what was your first day like as a principal? Can you go back in your mind and kind of think about what was that first day like?
I remember being very excited, and when you come out of school, you think you have most of the answers.
Right.
And so when you go into the classroom, you want to try all of those different things that you've learned in the program, and you want to do all of those things and implement them. But I remember that first day feeling overwhelmed and not really sure of what I was doing at that particular time. But I also had some wonderful teammates who made a big difference, and they let me know that I wasn't alone, and that if there was anything that I needed, that they would help me with it. So after I sort of got in, and I said, okay, you know, they're sitting in their desk, so I must be doing something right, and I'm able to instruct and give them some information, and so it went really well.
That's good. Do you remember, Kim?
I do. It was an exciting time becoming a principal my first year. And we had a lot of support as well through Cumberland County Schools. They support the principals very well. I had a mentor that would come in and work with me. And I had a fantastic principal right across the street at Pine Forest High School. And she and I went to our positions at the same time, Cindy McCormick.
Okay, yes.
So Cindy McCormick took me under her wing as well and helped mentor me, gave me some awesome resources, and I felt really good with her right across the street. If I ever needed anything, I called her. I remember Dr. Black was my supervisor as my first year
Dr.
principal.
Mary Black, oh yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Black, and you know, getting a phone call from her. Now, Kimberly, if you know Dr. Black, you can hear her. Now, Kimberly, one mustn't chase parents from the building. And all you can say to Dr. Black is, yes, ma'am. You know, so it was a learning experience, but a very, very good one. Felt very supported.
That's good. That is good. Now, I look at both of you, and you seem to be excited. You can just see it in your eyes about what you do each day. you know, to help our young people along the way. But what excites you about education?
For me, I think it's seeing the children succeed, seeing them learn, seeing them grasp concepts, and the fact that I know they feel comfortable at the school. They know they're loved at the school, and they're comfortable enough that they can try new things and test new ideas at the school. Mm-hmm. So I would say, for me, it would be the success of the children.
And I would have to agree with that. That light bulb moment when you realize that they've gotten something, yes, and especially when they get that concept for themselves and they're like, really, hey, I understand this, I really got this. That's exciting to me. It really is.
Okay. Finish this phrase for me. My students would say that I am. My teachers, faculty, and staff would say that I am. Okay? Okay, who wants to jump in first?
You want to jump in first?
Well, it may be the same. We'll see. I would say they would say that I am fair, consistent, and have good policies and procedures in place to keep everyone safe and make sure that our wheel is spinning effectively every day.
And I'm sure over the years, you've had to learn how to do these types of things. This is not something that just comes naturally.
That's true. Understanding how to read people, because there's 100 people that work in the building at Elizabeth Cashwell, and everybody comes to school, just like the children do. Everybody comes to school with different things on their plate. So you have to be able to read people to know how to handle certain situations. You have to know when to press it. You have to know when to pull back from it. And it is something that's learned as a principal.
Myra?
I think my students would say that I have high expectations for them. I think that there's something that they can contribute. I think that their opinions matter, and I think that they feel like Ms. Dunham expects certain things of me, and I'm going to try to deliver those things that she expects.
Now, you know, I remember in your portfolio reading that you feel as though with your students you are there to not just educate the mind,
Right.
but educate the whole child,
Right.
as far as character, blah, blah, blah.
Right, because it's important. It's not just the academics, because you're concerned with the whole child. You want them to be socially successful. You want them to be emotionally sound. You want them to be academically successful. So you not only do academic lessons, but just life lessons. How to treat people, being fair, and just showing them those things as well. I just think that's important too.
Yeah. And you know what, when I mention that, Myra, I think about what I read in Kim's portfolio about her philosophy to some degree, even when, as far as hiring is concerned. From what I could gather, you feel as though if I have the right teachers in place, then the rest will just work.
And it does. When you have the right teacher in place, the teacher is the key ingredient. Other than safety, the staff you have in your building is the most important aspect of what goes on at a school.
Okay. Well, you know what, ladies? I've got some really hard questions for you when we come back, okay?
Oh my.
Okay. Lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my.
All right. Don't go anywhere. Stick around for more Get Connected.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of Get Connected. Our guests are Cumberland County Schools 2014-2015 Teacher of the Year, Myra Dunham from John Griffin Middle School, and Cumberland County Schools 2014-2015 Principal of the Year, Kim Robertson from Elizabeth Cashwell Elementary School. And we're talking about their life's work and their love of children. Now, I told you there were going to be some lions, tigers, and bears, okay?
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. You said, oh my.
Oh my.
So with that, I know you have those days where things are not running as smoothly as you would like them to run. Well, we all have those days. Right. And I guess having the number of children in your class and you managing the number of people in your building, it can get a little hairy. Okay. So talk to me about how you've handled difficult situations or any specific difficult, day that you may have had. How do you go about handling that? How did you handle it?
I would say that a principal's world is so very busy. Your brain is so tired when you get home at night because there's so much going on. You have to make so many decisions all day long. Right. I can think of one particular incident that was difficult. I received a phone call from a family member of one of the staff at school, and they shared with me that the staff member's brother had passed away.
Oh, wow.
So this goes back to very quickly knowing your staff and how to handle this situation. So the first thing I did was went and picked up one of our instructional assistants because I know where her heart is and I know her connectedness to the staff members and her support of the staff members. And quite frankly, I needed her with us as well. So she was with me when I brought in this staff member and shared with this staff member that a family member had passed. And, it's real. What you go through in your job is real every day. And it's really important that you handle those situations the right way. And so I feel like she felt she was supported through that. Hearing something that difficult and making sure that she had what she needed to go to the next step. So I would say that was one of the very difficult days and situations that we had to deal with.
Myra?
And when Kim said that, that made me remember about a student that we had who passed, a sixth grader. And it's so difficult for the children, and you want to be there to comfort them and to tell them that everything is going to be okay. But at the same time, as an adult, you're grieving as well. So we were just there for each other. And I remember the counseling staff coming out, and they were excellent. But it was they just needed to be reassured that they were going to be okay, that everything was going to be all right. And so that would have been one of my most difficult days, I think, in the classroom.
And I know when you all come to school, oftentimes you have to be the mother, the father, the nurse, the doctor, the confidant, you name it.
Right.
You have to wear many hats. And then after you've worn the hat here and you've taken the hat off here, then you get in your cars, go home, put on another hat. So, I mean, I take it that there's a lot in the profession, and applaud you both for what you do each day. But then now let me ask you this. In that same vein, I know there are times that you celebrate those wonderful things. Can you remember a time where you just said, yeah, this is it. I know that I know that I know that I know I'm supposed to be right here doing exactly this.
Oh yes, there are those times too, and we hold those near and dear to our hearts. That happened for me this week at leadership. Every other Wednesday we have leadership with Dr. Till, and the board will share, or his cabinet will share with us situations, and Ron Phipps, the director for testing and assessment, was going over the EVOS model with us because that is the 6th standard on a teacher's evaluation tool now.
Right.
And it measures the growth of the children in the teacher's classrooms. And we work so hard at Cashwell with the individual child, picking out what concerns there are, what is the specific problem they're having with reading, because there is one. So we just really pick that apart. And we've been doing that now for 4 years. And Ron pulled up the EVOS data. I think I'm going to get emotional.
Uh-oh, okay.
And
That's all right. It's okay. It's okay.
maybe you should talk. But the growth component came up, and we were number 1 in growth. We had the most growth
Congratulations.
of all the schools. So. I was there with big alligator tears. Nobody knew it, of course, but just thinking about that work every day, and that is a huge, huge impact that we're making for our boys and girls. So
that's good. That's
awesome.
wonderful. And I'm sure it does. It feels wonderful when your staff and your faculty, your students, the parents, because it's not just the people at school, the parents supporting the whole effort as well. And you come up successful, and your work is not in vain.
Well, I've said that again several times recently, that when I have parent meetings, especially this week, I've been able to share that information to ease their fears. You know, we know there's this concern. This is what it is. We know this is what it is. And here's what we're doing for your child. And it's going to be okay. They're going to be fine. They're going to get to where they need to get to by the end of the school year. So.
That's great. That's great. And Ron, one of our associate superintendents, he works well with getting that information and sharing it. And I'm proud of you. Yay. I know. Okay, Myra?
I think the moments for me are when I have former students who come back and they thank me for something that I've said or something that I've done. I had a student one year who her academics was not where it needed to be in order for her to be in a particular program. And she was just devastated. You know, as a 6th grader, she just said, "Oh, I'm so upset. I wanted to be in it." And I told her, I said, "Well, you know, you'll be okay." I said, "This doesn't define who you are or what you're able to be." I said, "You'll still be able to be successful. You'll still be able to do other things." And I saw that student some years later, and she remembered what I said, and she saw me, and she was like, Miss Dunham. And so I said, "Hi, how are you?" And so we talked, and she said, "This is my 6th grade teacher. She was the one that told me that I would be okay and that I could do anything that I wanted to do. It didn't matter if I was in a particular program." And for me, when you have those moments when people come back and they remember something that you've said or something that you've done, and you know that it has motivated them, that's just an awesome feeling. It's an awesome feeling. So then I say, okay, I am in the right place. This is where I am supposed to be.
This is where you're supposed to be. And we're glad you're both here. That's a wonderful thing. Now, do you think that that people in our society understand and value education in the education field and what you all do each day as educators? Do you think it's valued by our society?
I think it's valued by society, but sometimes I don't know if it's valued to the degree where you would like for it to be, especially, you know, when you hear some of the news stories and some of the things in terms of budgets and cuts, and whenever you talk about teachers in terms of longevity and salaries, you think, you know, some things are being sacrificed that maybe shouldn't be sacrificed. And so that's when you wonder if it's valued to the degree that it should be.
Kim, you have any thoughts on that?
I think it is valued by our society, but I have to agree with Myra. To the degree, not so sure, but I do think it is valued in society.
That's good. Now, if someone is interested in becoming a teacher or a principal or an educator as a whole, what advice would you give them?
I would say you must be flexible. As a principal, you must be flexible and be willing to make changes rapidly and quickly, and always having the best interest of the child in the forefront of your mind. if you have that in all the decisions that you make, you're going to make the right decisions.
And
And
Myra?
I would agree with that as well. And just loving children.
I was about to say, if
Yeah,
you don't
you
love
gotta love
children,
children.
this is not for you.
Right, exactly, exactly. And you have to know that, they come first, and they're going to be some of those difficult days. But if you really love children and it's where you're supposed to be, you'll be okay even during those difficult days.
What do you think are some challenges facing educators?
Well, of course, keeping up with the salary scale, I think that is a challenge. Educators, we all know educators are in it for the children. They're not in it for the money. But it still costs money to live. And there is inflation, and things cost a lot. So, it would be nice if teachers were able to just have one job. Many teachers have more than one job to make ends meet, much less take a summer vacation or something like that. So I think that the legislature is on the right path. I think that they should continue to get input and feedback from teachers and administrators and superintendents. I appreciate the way Dr. Till, our superintendent, works with the legislature very closely.
Okay. Do you have any?
And I would have to agree with that. I think the biggest challenge is just continuing to do more with less.
Okay. And you know what, ladies? I'm looking, most people are used to me saying I'm looking at the clock on the wall, but I'm going to say something a little different today. I'm looking at my watch, and I see that our time is ticking down. Do you have any final thoughts you'd like to say or share with us about your esteemed titles now? Teacher of the Year, Principal of the Year. Any final words?
I am just so proud of the school. I'm so proud of the teachers and all of the staff members at the school, because it takes all of us to get the job done. And I know that their heart is there for the children. So I'm very, very thankful and blessed to have the staff that we have at Elizabeth Cashwell.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
And I am just honored and humbled. I know that I work with a wonderful group of people. They're excellent educators in this county, and to be recognized among them as doing something right and to be recognized as Teacher of the Year, that's just an awesome, awesome feeling.
All right. You know what? We'll be following you all because we know that you're going to take the regional title. We know that you're going to take the state title. Woo, woo, okay? And like I said, once again, we're so proud of you, and thank you so very much for representing us. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Well, on behalf of the Cumberland County School System, we want to thank you for tuning in to this edition of our show and for giving us a chance once again to help you get connected. Until next time.